like clear out a point and reset and whatnot. Having one after another, then another player coming back and another player coming back after that, just with that duplicate, you know, that cycle of ultimates, you're able to get back at full strength and fight it. And then you also have more HP at the time because of having that extra tank for the moment. So it's very difficult, especially for a team like the Gladiators, the composition they have to break through it. The Gladiators, though, they had enough ultimates and just kind of damage and good target selection to be able to pull it out in the end. Probably would have been a much faster time if we weren't in the situation where the Paris Eternal had these duplicates at the moment they had.
Matt, is Echo objectively better in this composition than the Sombra?
I don't think you can say for certain, to be honest. I actually think like Sombra is so powerful in the situations that you can make her work. I think it's just when the fights get drawn out, like that's when Sombra becomes less effective because of just her overall damage output. The damage output of the Echo is a bit higher. But if you can get these hacks and get good like target priority, and if you can get that first kill in a fight especially, and get the Sombra rolling with some easy free damage, that's where the Sombra can be extremely effective.
Focusing beam is definitely going to be scalding OG as he scrabbles for safety. But he has to push on outside here. The Paris Eternal have been able to sort of control the room that the Gladiators would otherwise have tried to retreat to, and it's paying off for them now. Fielder gets the coalescence because the healing is so much easier to get value from those biotic orbs when his team have taken position in the bunker. They have taken the Gladiators, I guess, territory away from them, and then they're using it against them. Here's that EMP, it's very, very good, and it's a good combo with the self-destruct. Could have gotten even more, but the rest of the Eternal are able to walk away. Now Paris have to make this late fight look good, but they have a potential second Diva or Winston in play, and I don't know how the Gladiators cut through this.
Yes, I feel like Space has done so much in this series as well. I know he gets a self-destruct kill and he eats a pulse bomb, but to be the Gladiators going in, using their sound barrier. It'll be Nico and the duplicate using a self-destruct, another self-destruct place in the point. The Gladiators kite around both of them.
Yeah, that was really clever. Nico actually punishes Big Goose for going aggressive, forces him to go to the high ground to avoid the duplicated Diva bomb, and then he's chased down by No Smite. Love to see it. The Eternal now have a sound barrier on 4 players. Aren't been needed to resuit. Him failing to do that now might be a problem for the Eternal. They're going to lack some staying power if Fielder can't stay alive, but he does. He keeps No Smite topped up, and again the Eternal go once more. It's Ripples as Paris once again to commit to a fight, and getting rid of OG with a pulse bomb is very high value here. No Smite backs away quickly. Mira tries to build up another EMP, but the Eternal are actually taking their time. A brief reprieve, a disengage, and now they push back in. No Smite on top of Space, and again the Gladiators retreat to the bunker on the low ground. The Eternal have the real estate now, and they're selling for a profit. 1 tick for them on the point. Birdring trying to harass from the high ground, but gets chunked down early. Shaz and Big Goose are missing, and now the healing's gone for the Gladiators. Somebody get these guys a doctor. There's nobody home, and the Paris Eternal are going to have this point taken up now. A clever disengage, and then the push comes in.
Yeah, as OG switches over to the Wrecking Ball just to try and get back, get a touch, extend it even further, but he'll go back to play Winston. It's the Gladiator still. This is where I think Sombra can be a little bit more effective as well. Like, she's always been good at Volskaya point B, right? Being able to control the health packs, easy areas to EMP, really with only one main choke to go through.
No Smite straight on in. No messing with this guy. Oh, Mira couldn't get away. He had EMP available. That would have been the backstop the Gladiators were looking for, and now they don't really have much to lean back on. Again, the Paris Eternal look like they're going to do what they've done all series long. Solid defense and a voracious attack. Over the top is Big Goose trying to get to the fight, but this has gotten out of hand way quicker than the Gladiators would have liked. Mira's EMP gets completely stifled, and the lights stay on for now. Big Goose also missing his trouble here for Space, who can't get away after he commits an OG on the signature Wrecking Ball, but even the belly is not going to be enough to keep him standing here. Fielder for 2, and there is FD God finishing off Shaz. The supports take center stage, and the Eternal take it in 3 minutes and 35 seconds, and they are way ahead in time bank.
And I'm not exactly sure if that was intentional or planned, or they knew where. But No Smite jumps right up to the high ground, and somebody forces Mira to translocate over on the lower side by the point, and he actually translocates like right into No Smite. And as soon as they get that kill on the Sombra, especially when she has EMP, I mean, that's what you're playing around if you're the Gladiators, right? To lose that at the beginning of the fight, where you'd rather have the EMP at the beginning when you're full strength, that's where things fall apart. And I don't know if you can kind of pin it on Mirror. I think it may just be a little bit of an unlucky circumstance where he translocated and just happened to be on top of the tank who is kind of roaming around the back.
Sure.
For Paris, but what a poor time to have something so unfortunate not go your way. It ends up going the way of Paris, right? I mean, they love it.
The Gladiators, well, they weren't ready for that at all. Mirror without a translocator up on that high ground, it kind of indicates to you that the Gladiators were not expecting the Eternal to be so brisk in pressuring towards point B. And what a way to win! Take the enemy team by surprise and follow up with excellent execution. Now the Eternal, they have 2.5 minutes lead on the Gladiators here, and let's see if their defense can hold up to the test. The Gladiators now, once more, as they have all season long, struggling when it comes to time-based scenarios.
And this has to be good for the Gladiators, especially this early fight, because of the way that you're playing with the Sombra. You're not going to generate, charge towards EMP quickly. Whether it be through hacks and then eliminations after that, you're going to be in a very difficult spot as Big Goose gets hit with some sticky grenades, has to back up a bit.
Yeah, it'll be fine. They'll need to take a moment, and that moment was enough of a window for Nico to finish Bird Ring off. And yep, well, you asked for it. The Eternal now want to build some extra ult percentage because there's only one fight left. If they can get things like Coalescence available quicker, they'd be very happy. But that's unlikely to happen now as the Gladiators have taken way more damage.
And if you're Paris, you don't mind pushing the issue because of the time bank that you've set for point B. Even if you lost this first point, you're still in an advantageous position.
So here's that early Coalescence. Let's see how much of a difference it makes. Harbin goes low, and Shaz would have loved to have finished off the D.Va mech, but he has to keep his front line alive. Nico wraps around. Big Goose went to go to the point, and that is going to be overtime, but the Gladiators are nowhere near touching, and the second Coalescence look better. Fielder is able to work Bird Ring down, and the Eternal now set themselves up for a series victory. They're going to have 3.5 minutes left to get one tick on point A, and you've got to be pleased with that. The Eternal looks so good in this meta.
Yeah, they've looked, ever since map 1, they have looked very good. I think it probably has to do around with, obviously, the maps, the differential in the maps. Like, think about how much more impactful, like, Sombra is on a game mode like Control, right? Where the point is very structured and they have to play close together. And they were able to win some early fights where the Echo wasn't having, like, the biggest impact. Since they've had to, they haven't had to switch off of the Sombra, but since we've gotten to some maps and game modes where it's a little bit less impactful in certain areas, that's where Paris has been able to really unlock the potential of their composition.
The Gladiators now look down the barrel of a difficult sort of mid-month campaign here, trying to make their way into this May tournament. This is one of the matches that you, from their perspective, you probably don't count on losing. You probably feel more confident now, but the Eternal, their twist, or at least their take on this current hero pool, adds so much with this Echo.
I will say, though, like, both of these teams are extremely strong. Like, even if the Gladiators lose here to the Paris Eternal, it doesn't really change, at least my opinion, of the Gladiators overall as a team. I still think they're extremely strong.
Sure.
And their next game they would have is next week, I believe, against Boston. So they do have a game coming up that they can get right back on track.
Well, for now, we're going to try and stay in this series. The Eternal again, trying to catch them off guard, push in. A lot of confidence in one another there, but soon maybe too much of it there. He got hacked and there was no way of recalling. With him out of the fight, yeah, it's going to be a quick little regroup.
So you have to back up here if you're Paris. You don't want to go in without your tracers. So that time Mirror did a nice job of just kind of locating soon, getting a hack off, getting that advantage. It's going to be another hack that actually didn't go off. It got interrupted. So now the Gladiator is going to have to give up some space.
Yeah, very small cooldown for Mirror on that one. He'll be looking for another target though, post-haste. No Smarties down here, so Fielder really getting stretched to the limit, trying to keep his team up, but Shaz gets an earlier Coalescence. Fielder will hold this though, when the Eternal are trying to establish a situation where they have both of their support ultimates coming into the next fight, plus a duplicate. So think about the effective health that provides you. The healing from those support ultimates is effective health, plus Nico getting an extra between 300 and 800 health, depending on who he copies.
It's just playing a heavy sustain comp, right, with your Moira as well. That'll be an EMP. They don't connect with Nico. But I think now, if you're the Paris Eternal, you probably just cut your losses and back up.
Yeah.
The Gladiators, they end up using EMP. They use Pulse Bomb here. I think you just kind of lose this fight, trade a Coalescence for an EMP and a Pulse Bomb, and now if you're the Paris Eternal, you have everything you want to work with.
Matt, Soon keeps getting hacked as soon as he tries to go in there. That's the perfect focus here from the Gladiators to remove arguably the most dangerous threat. The ever-aggressive Soon.
Because he's going in and trying to finish off some of these players that Nico and the rest of his team are damaging from afar.
Soon's playing at a more respectable distance now, and both teams go for the sound barrier. That's the Diva duplicate by Nico. Fielder has to fade away. He's low, and he's going to get chased. The Gladiators try and push up, but Shazzy bites off more than he can chew. Fortunately, Big Goose and Birdring are there to pick it up. And Nico heads to the high ground. His duplicate didn't really yield him too much, and Hanbin just wants his mech back. At this stage, the Paris Eternal, this is starting to get a little bit dicey now. They were hoping for a smoother push, but they managed to force a Primal Rage out of OG here late in the fight that arguably was already lost for Paris. So that is a victory at least that can help sustain them.
Yeah, but you're okay if you're the Gladiator. So, like, you obviously use the Primal at the end, but No Smite doesn't have his, and you have EMP coming up. So you still feel like you're in a really good spot if you're the Gladiators, where if the Gladiators can get away from this fight with just using, like, EMP, maybe even Pulse Bomb, if you really need to, you're in a great spot. Big EMP, that's going to connect with 4 players.
Again, Fielder no chance to use his Coalescence even if he would have wanted it to, and the Gladiators now are playing 2 modes. One is the fight win with EMP, the other is Coalescence. That time they used both, but they are draining the Eternals' resources, and now there's one more fight left. If Mirror can isolate Soon early in the fight or hack No Smite and prevent healing from Fielder, this will be over.
But you see how effective now that the Sombra comp is when it starts to get going.
We'll see what Mirror can do. He has to build ultimates quickly. The Gladiators don't have much to work with. Different tact here for the Eternal. They can go to the high ground, make it a bit more dangerous for the Gladiators to play inside. And again, they're going to take this bunker first. Soon needs to find a kill. Maybe a Pulse Bomb finish could be what he's looking for. Mirror on the low ground. Can't translocate away. That's the opening. He's beamed down by Nico, and now it's a 6v5. Soon wants to push in a Fielder, use that Coalescence to good effect. The Eternal were at 6. Now they lose one. Fielder's down, and it's going to be a sound barrier for the Gladiators, which is responded to by Paris. They've got Primal Rage. They've got Nico in a Diva form. They've got Self-Destruct. They've got health for days, and they plan to make use of it here. Self-Destruct on the point. Birdring has to hide behind the pipes for the time being, and that takes away an opportunity for him to work these tanks down. Nico steps up. His duplicate was gainful. Gets the Self-Destruct and now beams in from over the top. The Coalescence interrupt from Shaz. No healing available now from the Gladiators, and that's all she wrote. It'll be a desperate attempt for Mirror, but all he sees in the Mirror is his team's demise. The Paris Eternal take the series away, and that signature brand of aggression gets them there.
And yet again, what's the difference at the end? It's having those duplicates. Like, when they get a duplicate again from Nico, he takes Diva's form there, and he's able to use another Self-Destruct to clear off the point. The Gladiators have to separate, and then when the Gladiators come back, guess what happens? Hanbin just drops another Self-Destruct on the point. They have to separate. Like, you can't heal everybody all through it. Players, both your tanks are split on one side of each of that central kind of pillar storage area, and you're just in a lot of trouble in that type of situation because your healing is already so scarce with Moira Lucio in a spread out scenario, and now they spread you out. They've gotten high ground, and they spread you out for a solid 8 to 10 seconds there. So very difficult to heal through, very difficult to coordinate. The Gladiators tried their best, but Paris comes out on top.
I'm surprised it took Paris maybe as long as it did to again repeat that same strategy of moving to the right-hand side and taking the bunker room, or the mega room as many players call it because of the health pack there, away from the Gladiators. They sort of try to take a more direct approach for so long, but think of this, right? You have a Diva Self-Destruct, so you can add, 600 health on or whatever. You have a Primal Rage to add 500. You have a Diva plus Diva remech opportunity, so that's another 1200 health.
Right.
These teams are exploiting ways to gain effective health points over a team composition. Healing also does that as well. So in fights where you have that echo there, it's a big point of difference between these two teams being able to just sort of mix things up on the spot. And the way that Nico was able to take charge of those opportunities where he had to select a target was really important.
It can almost do the best of both worlds, that type of composition. It can play deathball-y at times, right? With your Moira Lucio